Hello, everybody. Before we begin this episode of the Indieheads podcast, I just want to give y'all a quick update on where we've been. As, of course, we left off with the Making a Door Less Open episode with promises of doing future retrospect episodes on Divers and Psychopomp by Joanna Newsom and Japanese Breakfast. We are working on trying to get those episodes out. We were pretty much just trying to plan on when we could record. But then the events of George Floyd's murder by the police happened, and the protests that followed, along with protests for Breonna Taylor and many other black people in the United States that were murdered by police or generally racially charged killings of that nature. So, of course, if you know our politics, if you follow any individual members, you know we are all pretty staunch leftists and we are in full support of the Black Lives Matter movement. And pretty much since then, I've gone to a number of protests. I imagine a number of members have gone to protest and donated to numerous, mutual aid and bail funds and things of that nature. So if there's anything that, that you can do right now, again, there's a great website. We'll put it in the description of the episode, blacklivesmatters.card.co. That's card with 2 R's. And again, ton of great resources, petitions, donation links, text/call. A lot of really great resources there if you want to support the Black Lives Matter movement. And so yeah, we'll be back hopefully with some regular episodes later this month, but we just wanted to give you all a quick update on where we've been. And also, Discog Breakdown is coming back as Jake and Alex are resuming their Phil Elverum series, hopefully ending off with the new Microphones record that's coming out in August. So in that episode, the interlude is already out now, so you probably see it on your podcast feeds and all that nature. But yeah, this is the first official episode back after a month away, and hopefully more to come. So yeah, we'll see you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
I love this one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Indieheads podcast. I am your host, Matty, aka at Monrovian Prince on Twitter. On this episode of the podcast, we have Rose.
Hello everyone. I can't wait until Australia sinks into the ocean.
Wow.
We've got Dill.
Crikey, mateys. I got a whale of a time listening to songs. Whales aren't specific to Australia. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello.
We've got Gavin.
Hey y'all, my brain has been completely broken and all I want to do is listen to Blink-182 and watch the Spawn television show. But Australian joke here, I guess.
So we're talking a lot about Australia as we have 2 special guests on this pod. The first guest is not Australian, but we just invited him because we wanted to make fun of one of his favorite bands to his face.
Yeah,
Because we're like that. So our friend from Twitter at NoLikeTweeter, Max is our first special guest of the pod.
yeah, first time on the podcast. How's it going? I graduated last week, so if anyone needs someone to be employed, that's me. Hire me.
And then our second special guest, and the reason why everyone keeps talking about Australia and things of that nature is Sean from Opinion Police. Welcome to the podcast, Sean.
Hey, thank you. I'm already offended. No.
Oh boy. So Sean, we've been discussing doing a podcast with you for some time, and we are kind of trying to figure out, okay, what do we want to do? And we have a lot of fun talking about charts, usually just the Billboard charts, but we wanted to kind of see charts from around the world. So you brought up Triple J, which is for the non-Australian listeners, what is Triple J?
So Triple J is part of Australia's national broadcaster, which is the ABC, and it's the youth radio station that I mean, it's accessible anywhere in Australia, or so they say. But it plays quite a wide variety of music. It plays a lot of indie and alternative music, but in like recent years, it's sort of got a bit more pop centric. Like we're going to be talking about Halsey and stuff because that's in the top 10 for whatever reason. Yeah, Triple J also is responsible for promoting nearly every single festival in Australia. and most national tours too. So it's kind of it has a real presence in the music community in Australia.
Yeah. So, but as you said, the chart has gone very pop centric, which I think is just a general trend of most like radio stations of this kind. Just alternative radio stations have gone headfirst into pop territory. A little bit worse in the US, but definitely noticeable here as we are pulling from the Triple J subreddit. A friend of the subreddit, Pulse of Silver, put together the Triple J Top 100, which basically just sort of mixes like the plays on the station versus like their Spotify plays, and just sort of has like a mathematized version of the most popular songs played on Triple J that are also just popular elsewhere. So instead of having like a really good top 10 from like a more official thing, we have this fucking mess of a top 10, which a lot going on here. A lot going on here, but we'll start off with um, Grimes is number 10 with 4 a.m. Rose, I'm gonna let you take this one because you have more of a positive opinion on this song than I'm gonna assume most of us.
Yeah, actually, 4 a.m. by Grimes from an album that I think if you ask me about it in December, I'm gonna be like, who made that one again? But yeah, this song I think was not the lead single, but like one of the first singles for Misanthropocene, which was like, oh, just so fucking bland. Like as a whole, like just, but this is like, this is both symptomatic of the album's problems and also kind of a good fucking song. Like, if you told me this is a grime song, I'd be like, I guess. It's more like Grimes makes background music for stores.
Mm.
And it kind of works okay. Like, that's the thing, is like, I'm purely going positive at this because it's going to get so bad soon.
Yeah, I definitely appreciated the Grimes song much more after listening to the rest of the chart. I finished the Grimes song like, whoa, this was okay. And then I'd listened to it before, but then after I got to the end of the chart, I was like, Jesus, this Grimes song is sick.
Damn, when she does that beat switch and all the voices come in, it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, to you two, not to me. I so I'm gonna have like official ratings for all these songs. This one is the only one that's kind of like a mix. I don't know if it's bad or mid. It's just somewhere in between. But all I have to say about the song is that no more Grimes. The world has progressed past the need for Grimes. This goes beyond the Elon Musk shit. It's just like it's just like, okay, like I'm done with Grimes as a musical concept. I'm tired of it all.
Yeah, we could have stopped in 2012 with Visions. I think the world would have been okay.
You're telling me
So that-
Grimes didn't disappear after releasing Visions?
Good point.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was pretty. I don't think it would have been as bad if it was shorter. But like, why is this 4.5 minutes long? Can someone answer that question for me?
Grimes,
Why
baby.
does
It's
it need to be
4.5 minutes?
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah.
I literally didn't even notice.
Yeah.
It helps that this is like the first song we're talking about, so it's presumably the first song that most of us have listened to from this chart. But like going back and doing repeat listens of the playlist just to like familiar side, just so I have I can talk about all these songs. It's just like this is one of the more painful ways to start. It's just like, oh my god, like this is so long. The stupid baby voice and like the terrible like jungle drum and bass
It
part.
sounds like a Three Doors Down song in a Go Army commercial before a movie theater.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was not having a good time with that one, but it's fine. It's Grimes. It's Grimes, baby, and it's not as like bland as some of the. Well, we'll get into it. It's Grimes.
There are worse on this list as we'll get to.
There are
There are
worse.
much worse.
So
Did anyone have any closing?
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question. Yeah. So in the chorus, she says, someone is saying, "How's the weather, baby?" Are we assuming that to be Elon Musk? And do we think this is something that he
Probably.
would
I mean,
actually
Oh,
say?
he wrote several songs about him on this album, so I wouldn't doubt it.
oh.
Man.
It's so bad.
I don't want to
I
live in a world where there's
She
love
wrote a
songs
song
about
about
Elon
having
Musk.
sex with Elon Musk. How are we supposed to take her seriously?
I think we're all missing the point of the song, which is, how is that weather, baby?
I wish I knew. I haven't been outside long enough to know.
Damn.
It's bad. It's bad. It's too fucking hot. It's too humid. I hate it. But let's,
Exactly.
It's all Grimes' fault.
unless anyone else had any more closing thoughts on this, let's move to a good song, a solid good song. Unless
Yes.
anyone had any final thoughts on 4 a.m. where the A is spelled like AE as in the baby's name. XAE.
Oh no! It was
I I
there
ha-
from the
I
beginning.
felt yeah, I felt a baby joke coming on. I didn't want to be the one to make it, so I'm glad Matty took that bullet for us.
I took the bullet. I had to.
Folks, does anyone else think that Grimes baby has a weird name, or is it just me?
Oh, no,
Okay,
it's pretty normal.
okay. Moving on. Moving on. The next song, number 9 on the list. Flume and Tori Moi, The Difference. I'm gonna hand this off to Sean. Sean, what are your thoughts
Um,
on The Difference?
well, when I was writing notes for this, next to this song, I wrote, "If I have to stand one, I'll stand this one." I feel like it's. I don't know. It's not my favorite Flume song, but it's not bad. I like the feature. I don't know. I feel like Flume has shown us that he has so much potential to really make such great electronic music. Like his mixtape last year was one that I really loved when it came out, and like I can still revisit it now and it feels fresh, but this sort of doesn't hit the same, and I guess that's the point. Um, Flume is quite progressive in terms of electronic music at Triple J. Like all of the other artists that are in the same sort of field go for a much similar sound to one another, whereas I feel like Flume stands out a bit more. But I don't know. I just don't get why this song is in the top 10. Honestly,
I think it's just like I think it's just sort of similar. Like there's just certain artists that are always gonna pop up on charts like this, and it seems like from what you're saying, like Flume is like one of the biggest. Is he's Australian, right?
yeah, he is.
So it's like one of the biggest like electronic artists in Australia that has a lot of crossover appeal with like the pop charts and like indie artists. So it's just like one of those artists that's always going to end up on these charts with a song. And I think it helps
Definitely.
like Tori Moi is on here too. And I think, he's fairly popular on its own. So it's just like, the mix of the two. It's like, okay, these are both very popular in these like, big indie scenes. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, of course this is going to pop off a little bit. But I mean, like I
Actually,
said, there's not
funny
much to discuss. What are you going to
funny
say?
about Flume though, Triple J last year, start of this year rather, um, did a hottest 100 of the decade. So a hottest 100 is where Triple J listeners vote on 10 songs, and it's a yearly thing. So the 10 best songs of each year, and it's like a massive countdown. It's pretty much like a national event, like it used to be on Australia Day, but then there was um, a lot of like politics contesting Australia Day because of Australia's history. It's not like great. It's not a great day to celebrate. So they moved the date of it. But anyway, they did a hottest 100 of the decade, and Flume got 7 songs in the top 100, the hottest 100. So,
Jesus.
and 2 of them were remixes. One was like a Lord tennis court remix, and the other one was a Hermitude remix.
God damn. I mean, good for him. Honestly, good for him. 7. I'm trying to think of like any other similar artists. I mean, because like I'm not sure on like decade list, but I know like it's become a very often occurrence, like the album bomb, where a big pop artist will drop an album, almost all the songs end up on the Billboard Hot 100. Some of which, like I think, like the last one, like one of the more significant ones was probably like
Drake.
Drake was significant because there was a lot of because it's like I think he had 2 top 10 entries and then like a bunch of stuff outside of the top, like in the top 40. So it doesn't shock me too much, but yeah. Nevertheless, the history, it's a good song. There's not much to discuss. It's a good song. I like Torre Moi quite a bit, even though there's some times like I didn't like the last album that much, but it was more not really not liking it, just like, damn, I know you can do so much better than this. Like, goddamn. But this is a fun little collaboration, and it's only like 2.5 minutes long. Like, great. Like, it gets in, it gets out. It's perfect. Which is going to be a problem with like a good half of this list. It's just like mostly songs just overstay their welcome, and it's going to get real bad. Unless anyone else had any more thoughts, we'll get to the. Go ahead.
I guess it's not too hot. Like, I think the song's fine. It's one of the better ones on the list. But if you add some electric guitars to this bad boy and sped it up a couple of beats per minute, this would just be a fiddler song.
Jesus Christ!
It's got the oohs and whatnot. I mean, they serve their purpose, but not a bad thing. But something to ruin.
I feel like I agree with.
Guys.
I agree with the common sentiment.
Oh, God.
Go on.
Okay. It's time. It is time.
No.
Yeah.
I think we can all collectively agree that this is the worst song on this list by far. We're gonna disagree on a lot of these songs probably coming up, but this is the one where it's like, no, we all agree that this is the worst song on this list, potentially the worst song that I've heard this year. Number 8, Tones and I, Bad Child. Who wants to go for it? I'll open the floor to this one. Who wants to?
So I think the first thing that we all need to remember before talking about this song is, first thing to note, her family always thought that she was a bad
Oh,
child.
that's true.
Gotta remember that. You always remember that she thought that she was doing bad things. She was always doing bad things. But hey, she's over it because no one can ever understand her weird mind, and that's okay. She's got a weird mind, but it's all right.
I mean, who can say it better than that?
This is.
I have a positive thought about this song, and it is, at least it's not fucking Dance Monkey. This could be even worse somehow.
I think it's worse than I think this is worse than Dance Monkey, because at least with Dance Monkey, it's not taking itself too seriously. So, I can't take it that seriously when it comes to it's a shitty song, but it's like, okay, I can't take it that seriously. But this is like supposed to be like a serious song. This is like one of the this is like some like Imagine Dragons, like when they get serious, but it's like it's the radioactive of Australian pop singers. It's got that same vibe of just like, it's trying to mesh together all these different genres, is really fucking loud and annoying, and it's somehow insanely popular. It's a paradox. I was talking with my girlfriend, and we were just trying to figure out like why, like, not only like why is this band so popular, why are they like both so annoying yet so popular? Because Dance Monkey has 1 billion plays on Spotify.
I don't. Why? I didn't. Okay, my background with this is that I didn't know that this artist existed before like 2 hours ago.
Oh my God.
And so I listened to the song. I listened to the song, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty bad." And so I went down the rabbit hole, and I looked at the Spotify page, and she has 1 billion listens on a song I've never heard of.
Australia.
I don't. What is wrong with Australia?
No. You wanna know something really awful? Is that her song "Dance Monkey" is the most streamed song on Spotify by a female artist, like, of all time.
Wow.
Oh my.
1.4 billion.
I have one note for this song, and it just says "poop, fart, poopy, fart."
Eloquent, very eloquent.
But I do want to say,
Thank you, Gavin.
that if this bad child need to be put in gosh damn time out. Take away this kid's candy, am I right?
Oh my god.
It's a bad parenting job,
Yeah.
in my
Parenting
opinion.
fail, am I right? God.
Oh god. See, I didn't write a whole lot of notes because I'm like, okay, you all are gonna come up with a lot of really great stuff, and it's just
Oh yeah, great stuff like
I'm
poop
losing
fart,
my
poopy
mind.
fart.
You're losing your weird mind.
It's what happens when you give kids smartphones.
That's what
too
happens when
early.
you hang out with the bad kids. You make music like this.
Yeah,
This is a song that feels like
your kid making a song called "Bad Child," where they tell you all about how bad of a child they
I'm
are.
a bad child.
I wish Bad Child
No,
cigarettes under the
Gavin.
bleachers.
this feels like a song that was written from Facebook posts from 2011.
Yeah,
It has like Riverdale energy, honestly.
it's like you go to a Facebook
But
group
like they
called,
wouldn't even play it in Riverdale.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
like the audio equivalent of one of those like things only girls understand.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a post that someone like says about their kid in a Facebook group called like "Mommy needs wine now" or something like that. You know?
I think this is the wrong genre for the song, because if this was written by like some Warped Tour band that nobody cares about, it would be everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Put some blast beats on that.
It might
Okay.
actually hit in America.
I've just come to a realization about this song. I think Tones and I is Billie Eilish's Tether.
That actually was what I was thinking listening to it, because her voice is so... What is with her accent? I don't understand what she's trying to do with these vocals.
Ugh.
Sean, you want to take this one?
I don't even know if Sean can explain this.
Because I've heard it.
Wait, the next song?
No, we're getting to the
okay.
bottom.
We're still on Bad
We're still on
Child.
Bad
We're
Child. I just want to
still
be
on
sure
Bad
we're
Child.
moving on too
firing
soon.
range.
We're not moving on too soon.
The way she speaks, like when she's just talking, like I happened to pass her by at a festival because I like watching car crashes, and also I wanted Charlie XCX merch. But anyway, I passed her at a festival and she was just talking like normally, and then she just goes into the song and she like does something with her voice, and it's not her voice. I mean, it's her. Like, I'm not saying that it's not her singing; it is her, but it's like she's putting it on.
Okay,
It's
so
so put
that
on.
leads into my big hot take here, because to me her voice sounds like she's trying to sound like a black R&B singer. Like she's doing like vocal blackface, or like trying to push this absolutely ridiculous, because she's trying to go with this like more like deeper, almost like baritone like range to her,
Yeah,
and it doesn't work
Yeah.
at fucking all.
yeah. Like I listened to that other song that I don't remember the name of. Don't care. Don't tell me. Don't say it. But I was like, is she trying to be like Macy Gray / AWOL Nation combined? Because if so, she should stop because that's bad.
That kills people.
Yeah. This is how people die. And those people are us, and we've been dead the whole time.
Yeah, this is a song that should be like contained on like Bandcamp with like 6-foot fences all around it and like never leave it.
This song
You
might
go
be
to,
an
like,
SCP.
You go to the recommended albums of the recommended albums.
Yeah,
You're like
there's like
3 layers deep.
Yeah, you need to ask for consent before listening or something like that. Just know you know what you're getting into.
It's a Keter class song. You need like level 5 entrance to listen to it. It has to be kept like 10 miles underground.
What makes
the
this
little
even
pop-up appears on your computer that's like, are you sure you want to run this?
what makes this even more, I guess, frustrating is that so she was apparently found busking on the street an hour from the Gold Coast, and she was found on the street by Sony Music and immediately signed a record deal and then put out the EP.
I'm so mad.
Oh.
I'm so upset.
I
Well,
don't.
it's like the
I
Damo
don't believe any of
Suzuki
those
story,
stories.
but worse.
Well, and then she
okay.
lied about her age in the US as well.
That's what I saw. I looked into Wikipedia, and it was like she can be like born anywhere between the range of like 1993 and 2000. So there's this 7-year gap where nobody knows what age she is.
What's my age again?
And that's just tones. We don't even know what happened to I.
Okay, okay, I don't believe the busking story at all. Here's what I don't believe the busking story, because it's like, I'm sorry, no, just that happened, sure. So I want a loyal podcast listener. So I want you to look up Tones and I just find out her real name. I want you to find out who her parents are, and I want you to see if she's in Epstein's black book.
I have a more personal vendetta here. I need to know if she is related to Abso Facto.
Oh no! Oh,
get Farron on the pod again.
It's very important to me.
Okay. We need to. Okay, it's time to move on. It's time to move on from one unhinged discussion into another different unhinged discussion. At number 7 on the list, the Avalanches, featuring Rivers Cuomo and Pink Sifu, running red lights. Max, you are the Avalanches stan. We brought you on the pod for this reason. Do you have a defense for this song? And here's the thing, I'm coming from actually a very neutral perspective. I don't hate it, I don't like it, but I'm just neutral. I'm like, I want to hear your take on this as an Avalanches stan.
I got real into the Avalanches back in like 2018, the summer of 2018, and like it kind of faded towards 2019, and my fandom of them has gotten more muted. As the singles have come out, I've become more disillusioned with the idea that the album was going to be good, and this song kind of reinforces that. I think just like working with Rivers Cuomo in 2020 is like kind of scary, and if your country has like Rivers Cuomo, like featuring Rivers Cuomo on a chart in 2020, they don't deserve sovereignty. It's fine.
See, but then we have to destroy the United States because we let Weezer Africa chart.
Yeah. See, like, I don't...
Hey, Rose, how many times did you listen to that song?
I'm, like, pretty indifferent towards the song. Like, it's fine. Like, it's, like, a fine Avalanches song. Like, it doesn't, like... When I think of the Avalanches, I wouldn't think of a song that kind of sounds like Running Red Lights. And then the Rivers Cuomo California verse comes on, and I was listening to it. I listened to it like for the first time today, and I was driving home. And when that verse came on, I almost got hit by a car, and I kind of wish I did.
But were you running a red light?
Oh, good question.
No, I was actually following traffic laws, which makes it worse. Yeah.
The like structure of this song, like everything about the writing and shit is so deeply unhinged, because you've got like Rivers Cuomo doing this like normal melody over here, and then all of a sudden he just breaks into this bit about like California for no reason. He's got what I call Anthony Kiedis syndrome, where he suddenly makes everything about California.
Yeah, I was listening to this at work, and I'm not allowed to have my phone out, so I couldn't see who the artist was. But when I heard Rivers Cuomo's voice, I almost shit my pants. I was like, "No way, this is happening." Yeah. I have one note here that I wrote. I wrote these all on sticky notes at work. When I heard them mention Schrodinger, I wrote "suck my Schro ding dong," and that's pretty much all I have to say about the song.
I thought it was Schrodinger, but Rivers Cuomo.
Yeah, he's pronouncing. He's garbling that.
And then he follows it up with "I'm crying in the car," which, like, aren't you 45 or something? Like, there
look, he's having his midlife crisis. Sometimes you cry in your car in your midlife crisis.
He's crying in his car.
How old is he again?
This man is like...
He's 45. That's a midlife crisis.
Oh, wait. I thought he turned 50.
I could have sworn he was 50 plus.
Like yeah, we don't know how Rivers Cuomo is.
Everyone wished Rivers Cuomo a happy 50th birthday. It happened on
Junter. Go do that now.
Oh no!
I'm about to go do this.
He's 50 years old. And to think that this song has the last written material by David Berman on this earth.
No, as soon as that Pink Sufi part
Sifu.
came in, or however you pronounce it, I don't fucking care. I almost did what Gavin did and almost shit my pants.
Look, Dill. I'm just gonna. Here's the thing. I don't have much to say about the song. It's just a big old bucket of mid. It's just if this wasn't the Avalanches, I wouldn't know it was the Avalanches because it just doesn't really.
Yeah,
It's anonymous.
Yeah, that's how I
very
felt.
anonymous, which is pretty sad. But nevertheless, first off, if there's one good thing to come from this song, it's like, okay, cool. Pink Sifu is getting like some exposure. His album they dropped this year, Negro. It's one of the best albums of the year. Probably one of the most confrontational, like I don't know if I want to say hip hop albums because I think he's generally a hip hop artist, but this new album is like just very like heavy black music. That's just all I can really say. It's probably one of the most like well timed albums to come out this year with the events they're going on here in the US and just worldwide generally. But that album is great, but you would not expect that album from a person featured on this song of all songs. It's so bizarre.
yeah. I'm looking at the RYM page right now, and the genres are sound collage, noisecore, and hardcore punk.
See, then you would like. I say this. You would really like that album. I think you would really like it.
Core.
Alright.
It's got like a bit of daughter. Maybe not like sound wise, but in terms of like the energy and just the mood, it's very similar to the two daughters. Just in terms of like, oh, shit's like really fucked. Like, shit is so fucked.
Yeah, I will be honest. When I heard that part, I was like, this just sounds like another like dime a dozen R&B like Frank Ocean inspired artist. Looking at this now, it's very strange, but I'll give it a shot.
Okay, that's all I want at the end of the day. Because yeah, but this song it's a big old bucket of mid. There's not much else to it. If you had any hope for Avalanches LP3, I mean, if you still got hope, good for you, I guess. that's all I can really say. But there is much worse on this list to come. Speaking of worse to come, the next song, Lime Cordial, Addicted to the Sunshine. This is probably I think on this list probably the second worst song for me on this list. Either second or third worst. It's pretty bad for a number of reasons. Number one, why is this 4.5 minutes long? Jesus fucking Christ. If there's one thing that I've really grown to appreciate about 100 Gex is that they are the masters of like getting in and getting out. They know exactly how long these songs should be. They don't overstay their welcome at all. This is like, why is this 4.5 minutes long, but it's so repetitive? And also, if you are a man and you currently look like you're trying to be in the 70s, I don't trust you. You should not be trusted as a person. Just you should be sent to jail. Just don't stop. Let's just make this trend of the 70s looks. It's over. Let's end it. It's enough. I'm done.
Yeah.
This is a bad song.
Yeah.
But I'll let someone else take it from here.
My only note is this sounds like a culture abuse song as performed by a marketing firm.
See, I wrote it sounds like a Weird Al parody song of a song that does not exist. It's like it's so like 2011 like Burger Records shit. Like I don't know. It's just like, yeah, but at least those bands will keep it to like a minute and a half. This was bad. It has horns though, so who's complaining? I can't complain.
I think the problem with Lime Cordial is that they got popular off of another Australian band that's not any better, that was even more popular. So I mentioned like the Hottest 100 before, but in 2018, Ocean Alley won it with their song Confidence and got 4 entries in it. The same year, Lime Cordial got 1, but then the following year, Lime Cordial got 4, and one of their songs placed at number 7. So they just got really popular really quick after Ocean Alley sort of blew up, and they're not any better. So
do the
so
Triple
Australia...
J charts include plays from car commercials.
M83 dominates.
Okay.
Oh God, yeah. This is just I just get flashbacks to when I worked at my college radio station, and just hearing all like the car commercial songs being played, and just like wanting to escape the room so much. Like, and it's just the fact that like this is just a never-ending bad college music meeting, and oh my God,
Quote unquote alternative is a nightmare.
Oh God. I mean, there's worse car commercial music in the US, but this, like, I don't think it would be as bad if it was not so long. Like, if you cut this to like 3 minutes, I would have been like, okay, it's pretty mid, but but like just the fact that it sticks around so much and it's so repetitive, it feels like I'm in purgatory when I listen to this song. Like, why? It's like I don't want to hear a song about how I'm addicted to the sunshine when like there's a global pandemic happening. There's a large amount of global unrest. This is a song that just like it's gonna be one of the songs you look back on being like, wait, it's got popular in 2020, like this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, like read the fucking room for a
I have
minute.
such
like,
a good
Jesus.
joke to do right now.
I mean, can any of the music here read the room?
Okay, that is true. That is true somewhat. But what were we gonna say, Gavin?
I have such a good joke right now. Be prepared to laugh your fucking asses off. You know who hates this song, "Addicted to the Sunshine"?
Vampires.
God damn it! Fuck you. Shit. Folks, we have a heckler in the house. I'm going to ask that he be ejected from this call.
I can't wait for the sequel to this song, Addicted to the Garlic.
Oh no.
I'll leave.
One sunshine. Food.
Lime Cordial's a band of vampires who are trying to prove that they're not vampires.
Oh man. Okay. I think someone's really gotta. Okay, next time if you find lime cordial on the street, go find. Just grab a mirror. Just take the mirror off of your car. Just break the fucking car mirror off your thing. Just bust it open and just put it in their face and see if they show up. If they don't show up, we got them. We got them, folks.
We got him.
I was waiting
for them
for
to get cast in What We Do in the Shadows season 3.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for Gavin to drop Sublime Cordial, but it never happened.
Yeah,
so.
no. I can't. My rest in peace, Bradley Knoll.
Lime cordial with Rome. No.
Okay, but
next band is basically the Sublime of today.
Ah!
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure. Tame Impala, Lost in Yesterday, number 5.
Oh my.
Number. Wait a second. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, number 5.
It's number the Phaser Boy himself, the effects man.
Oh, okay. I want to start with this one. I want to be the one to start with this one, because I'm in a position that I rarely am in when it comes to the music of Kevin Parker. I kind of like this song.
Wow.
I think it's kind of good. I dig it.
Ooh.
Someone go check on Matty. I think quarantine brain.
I'll be over in 10 minutes.
Okay, to defend myself further. Look, if anyone listened to the Currents retrospect, you know how much I hate Kevin Parker. You know how much I despise Currents and I despise Tame Impala and the amount of artists that he's influenced in his time to just produce such white mediocrity. But compared to the rest of this list, this is a very pleasant, nice song. I like the way that it moves. It basically sounds like something off of Lonerism, so it's probably why I can stomach it a bit more compared to a lot of the other stuff. The falsetto is not fucking crazy. He's kind of reined that in a little bit. So it's like, okay, so it's basically just like a Lonerism B-side, and I appreciate that. It breezes by pretty quickly. There's nothing too abhorrent on here compared to a lot of the other songs that we've talked about so far, and we're going to talk about later on. But this is a good song. It is in my good tier. probably my second or third favorite song on this list, honestly. But I'm gonna be the lone person in that, so
Matty,
I will let you all continue and roast Kevin Parker, because I also want to hear you all roast Kevin Parker so much.
I can't fucking stand any song off this fucking Tame Impala album. Like, genuinely, everyone is complaining about Currents. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But this is just like, oh my god, kill me. Like who let Kevin Parker discover Supertramp? Please do not let him discover any other bands, because he will just call out their sound in like the most bland and emotionless way possible. This is like trying to like have a swing to it, and it's just lifeless. It's like a dude dancing by himself in his room, just kind of sadly.
Well,
Just, I fucking hate Kevin Parker so much. I hate him.
I feel like anytime I hear a Tame Impala song, especially from this album, my brain just kind of like turns off, and I just like ignore it, and it's just a wall of noise until the song is over. I don't know. It's just like my brain just like zones it out. It's just he just like says shit. Like I'm not a guy that cares about lyrics a lot, but he's literally just like saying shit. It's just like, okay, the song's over. All right, here we go.
His voice is like wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote notes on sticky notes. Like I said, I was at work, so I have to get my goofs off. The first thing I'm going to say is that making fun of Tame Impala is like shooting fish in a barrel full of CBD. But that being said, freaking Kevin Parker, whatever his name is, I'd rather be listening to freaking Travis Barker in the gang. Am I right?
Oh my god.
That's all I gotta say. Like, they're making fun of Tame Impala at this point. Whatever.
Yeah.
I have to be the contrarian here and say that I actually do quite like Tame Impala, but I completely understand all of your criticisms of him. I feel like it's incredibly accessible, too accessible. Even, I know we're not talking about current, so I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, this new Tame Impala album didn't really do it for me. There were some songs I really liked, but like Lost in Yesterday, I don't get why this song in particular is the one that's charting. I don't even feel like it registered when I listened to the album.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Are there like two different camps of Australian indie rock, where like you have one camp that's Tame Impala and the other camp is like Courtney Barnett, and they're just constantly fighting with each other?
No, I feel like obviously not everybody likes Tame Impala in Australia, but I feel like he's like widely well regarded. Like I don't think I've ever heard someone who's Australian say they don't like Tame Impala.
So Tame Impala for
the country's officially fucked up.
This should skip me, man.
We gotta do something about Australia, fellas. We'll get you out of there, Sean. But
thank you.
We are airlifting you out.
Me. Actually, you know what? I don't really wanna come over that side of the sea right now.
That's fair.
That's actually fucking right.
We're doing pretty good, all things considered.
Their worst problem is people like Tame Impala.
We're not gonna bring it
worse than anything going on in the world right now. I haven't looked at the news in 3 months, so I don't know.
I wish I was you.
I'm kidding. I
do this era of geopolitics. Tame Impala listeners are isolated to one continent.
I don't know. I just feel like everything in the slow rush between the tracks Posthumous Forgiveness and It Might Be Time are just so forgettable.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, It Might Be Time is a lot worse than this one. It Might Be Time is really, really bad.
No, that one's like the good one.
No, It Might Be Time.
Those fucking drums. Have you heard them? Those drums hit.
No.
It's so good.
The rest of it is just like faceless and like I can't tell what the fuck he's doing, but like It Might Be Time genuinely has the one moment where I'm like, oh, something's happening here.
Maybe it's because I have a soft spot for lonerism that I like this song so much. I've already admitted that, but I'll just admit it again. Like, it sounds like something off of lonerism which is the one Tame Impala album that I'm like, oh, this is fine. This doesn't hurt me. But yeah, the Slow Rush was just boring. There was never really a podcast about the Slow Rush because there wasn't anything interesting about it. Because at least Currents in its terrible state, it's a very interesting album to talk about. You can mine, just like Jackson is with Benji. I can mine hours of content out of that album. There's just so much going on there that is worth discussing. But this is just like, it's fine. Like I said, we have discussed so much. There's so much worse on this list. There's so much more confounding stuff.
We're getting into the hell zone.
We're getting into some hell zone stuff. Because I assume I think we've Kevin Parker. We'll lay off you. We'll lay off you for now.
We're entering the point of no return.
Yeah.
The point of no return.
Oh boy.
Number 4 on the list. One of 2 Joji songs. The first one being "Run," which my notes for this. I'm just gonna read off my notes as I have them written. Oh, holy shit! We really let Filthy Frank have a serious music career. He can
We
not
should have
sing
bullied him before
at
this
all.
started.
He's trying to be the fucking Weeknd on this song or something. Fucking filthy 50 Shades ass song. Bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Dude, who let him get away with having a genuine successful music career doing this shit? Ugh.
Yeah, this is music you listen to when you want a 19-year-old who works at Aeropostale to eat you out to. You know?
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to kick you from the cult. Jesus.
Yeah. We let a man whose like entire like YouTube career was I'm about to like take a shit in a bucket of like vomit, like have a career where he's like, you're gonna fuck to this, and like we can't let this happen. We gotta stop him. Like by any means. Like we gotta get rid of this guy.
Oh god. Oh.
Aeropostale's closed.
More time for them to eat you out, Max.
I am well aware.
Stop! Oh god. Oh.
Somebody's gonna die today.
Oh my god. But like for real, Dan, this he cannot sing at all. He's so bad at singing. And not to say that's like always like a thing. Like some of my favorite artists are like artists who like technically can't sing, but it's clear that he's trying to hit notes here that he just like does not have the capability to hit. And we learned that with the other song. He's just like, okay, so he kind of, for some reason on this song he knows his range, but on this song he's like, oh, I'm gonna try to be like The Weeknd, and it's just like, brother, you were Filthy Frank.
The wind.
You were Filthy Frank.
This song has 65 million streams.
Like you ruined a generation. You ruined a generation of teenagers potentially with your garbage humor, and you're like, oh, just forget about all that. I'm gonna be The Weeknd, and I'm gonna be best friends with Rich Brian.
I put forward a motion to just allow global warming to wipe out Zoomers.
Yeah. If you invented the Harlem Shake, you're not allowed to ever be fucking horny in your life ever again. And that's the fact. You're not allowed to ever get a boner. You're not allowed to fuck if you invented the Harlem Shake. That's like...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How did Australia allow this to get to, what is this, number 4?
Yeah, this isn't even Australian. Like, he got 2 songs.
No. He is Australian. He is Australian.
He really?
He was born in Japan, but like mostly grew up in Australia.
Oh, I thought he was American for some reason. Like, just
he went to school. I think maybe Sean, do you know more about Joji than any of us? Because I can do a quick Google search. Because I from what I remember, born in Japan, grew up in Australia. One of his parents might be American. I don't know. But whatever the case,
I think he just said his mic just stopped working.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this...
he heard Joji discourse.
Okay, I'll do a quick Google search just to confirm these things, because he does have like an American accent generally. Like he doesn't have really an Australian accent, which is pretty bizarre. So let's see. Okay, he's half Japanese and half Australian. Canadian Academy in Japan. Okay.
I just assumed he was American because he hung out with a bunch of fucking American weirdos.
Yeah, I think he's like okay. I think he mostly was raised in Japan, but like one of his parents is half Australian, so. But then when he went to college in the U.S. though, so that's probably I guess the accent maybe I don't know. Whatever the case, I think Gavin has said. I think he said everything that needs to be said about this song. Honestly, I don't know what I was gonna say, but
we have to talk about another one.
We have to talk about another one. So
Yeah,
we'll pocket it for now. We'll pocket it for now.
Your Joji jokes.
We'll come back to the song in a second. But nevertheless, number 3 on the list, we have one that maybe it stands out a little bit because it's probably the biggest pop star on this list. But number 3, Halsey, You Should Be Sad.
So this was my pick for the second worst song on here.
No.
This is one of the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Awful.
If it wasn't for the tone song, this would have taken it.
Like Halsey has always just been like deeply unpleasant to me. I don't know what it is, but ugh.
Oh boy.
It's like fucking going to the album this is off of. You look at the interludes and like I cannot tell what her aesthetic is supposed to be because like her guests include BTS, Dominic Fike, and Alanis Morissette. Those things don't go together. They don't. They're not supposed to.
Is this song about G-Eazy?
Yeah, I'm pretty
it's
sure
a good
it's
song
gotta
because, as we've established before, G-Eazy is definitely a neo-Nazi.
Please don't sue.
Don't sue. Parody.
Please.
Joking parody.
Non-actionable.
Yeah. Comedy man. Poop fart. Poop. G-Eazy poop fart.
This is a parody of a music podcast, so therefore we're protected.
Oh god.
If Halsey is telling G-Eazy that he should be sad and then kind of says it in a song that's as bad as this, would G-Eazy really be sad?
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
can I'm just gonna I'll just say it. I'm just gonna say it. This is not only a good song. I think this is my favorite song on the list that we're talking about.
I'm so mad.
I'm disappointed in you.
You know what,
on
Matty?
an
I think it's towards the
personal
top, but that's only because I had to listen to 2 Joji songs and fucking Tones and I, whatever. I mean, you know,
Toenails? Was that the name of the band?
Toenails. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, but can I explain myself
off.
a little bit? Can I explain myself?
Yeah.
So not only is this like it's my favorite, it's probably the best Halsey song that I've heard, you know. And this doesn't mean that I want her to like pivot to like country music or anything like that. I mean, quite the opposite. I would never want to hear another Halsey country song. I just, you know, this works as a one-off. I think it's really damn good. I think like it's probably one of the more sonically interesting like mainstream pop songs I've heard in a minute. You know, sort of that mix of like Americana and just like regular kind of mainstream pop and like Southern rock. It's surprisingly well done, surprisingly tasteful because there's a lot of artists, you know, like in the wave of Little Nas X that have, you know, tried to hop on, you know, this mixing country music with other popular genres wave. I think Diplo has tried to do it in one of the most like, I haven't listened to it, but I already know that like, oh, this is like probably like really distasteful and like really just like uninspired. But this just feels very inspired. It feels like, okay, it's done with a purpose with the subject matter, you know. I think it simultaneously works as like this brutally honest send off to an ex, but also just filled with like such deep sadness and regret, you know. I think Without Me didn't really work because it was also trying to be a send off, you know. It was trying to be like, oh, like I'm so much better without you, but like, you know, that it was trying to have that as mix like, well, I'm still really sad about this, but it's like it didn't come off as genuine. It was like, it's not working. But this works a lot better because I think, you know, the genre that she's working in accounts for that so much better, where it's like, okay, you have a much better songwriting space because like, if you're going to sample Cry Me a River or like interpolate it, you know, you need to sound like really fucking petty and really fucking happy that you're petty. You know, you can't be down in the dumps. But this, you could be down in the dumps a little bit. It works a lot better. You know, I think this is a great pop song. I think it's probably the best Halsey song she's ever made. I told my girlfriend I would actually listen to her album now because I'm kind of curious about what the rest of the record thinks or what the rest of the record sounds like. She said it's bad. My girlfriend did, but like bad in such an interesting way that it's like, you know what? I appreciate that we have someone like Halsey who is just this willing to be the way that she is. You know, you gotta appreciate that at the end of the day because you know, in a sea of artists that are just trying to sound like other artists or just like don't come off as genuine, just feel like you know manufacture, you know, like fucking like test tube babies from the you know the Universal Warner Labs. This feels like okay. She feels like a real person, and I think that makes for occasionally really bad art, but in cases like this, it works somehow. But
I want
you all can proceed to laugh at
I want to
me
correct
for
one
my
thing.
bad opinions.
The best Halsey song is her singing Blink-182 in the mall, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You got a point there. You got a point there. All right. Second best Halsey song
Correct.
is You Should Be Sad.
Yeah.
But that's all I gotta say. I think it's a great song.
Did you shut down the haters, Matty?
I don't know if I shut down the haters.
I don't know.
I hope give Halsey a chance. That's what I'll say.
He's
give
going
Halsey
in.
a chance. Give Halsey a chance.
You had a very detailed explanation, and mine was just like, "LOL, this is like mid," and that's all I have. So you like have actual reasoning.
I do think the line in the song where she's like, talks about like, I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you. I feel like that's a really powerful line.
It is.
But I don't really like the song, so I like appreciate it, but also I just doesn't sound like I mean I'm glad that you saw so much in it, Matty, but I really just don't, and I don't get why Halsey is what, like number 3 on a radio station in Australia that's like meant to be an indie radio station. It just
See, that I'll agree with. I don't get why this is on here. Like, I guess because Halsey, it depends on the country, but you know, for at least early on, she tried to be like tried to ride the line between like alternative and pop, and I think just very quickly fell to the pop side because I don't think even the alternative charts, either from there's two perspectives. It's either from the perspective of like she just made pop music, you know, but at the same time, it's like, well, why is that stopped? So like, you know, why is this too pop, but like 21 Pilots is not pop enough? So I think it's a mix of like, okay, she was very clearly making like pop music, but like that didn't stop you before with like some male artists were making like clearly like very pop music, like 21 Pilots, Imagine Dragons, you know, and alternative music stations have a very big problem with misogyny, like either from being like in a basically alternative music station myself to just like reading stuff about alt music stations. They're very misogynistic. And so, you know, I do appreciate someone like, okay, like there's some, you know, alternative station that's like willing to be like, yeah, no, she makes pretty alternative music to our current definition of alternative. Still, you know, maybe like, I don't know why it's here, but like, I mean, I wouldn't have listened to the song otherwise. And I really like the song quite a bit. So, hey, you know what? I can't be mad. Can't be mad. Number
Halsey.
Shut up. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, number 2. Let's get back on the Joji hate train, everybody.
Right.
Number 2, Joji. Gimme Love. I've got so much to say. This one's much better than the last one. The last one is just so fucking funny. No. This one is like just kind of mid. It's just mid.
It's mid.
It's like I like the first half. I think the first half is pretty decent, but then it gets like all slow and interlude in the second half, and it's just like, oh man, you had like a cool little break beat here, and you did this, like, oh man.
This one's just so fucking overextended and just boring. Like it is like just the definition of mid. The other one was like kind of reaching for it for the first few seconds and then just immediately flopped on its face. This one just is from the get go like, nah, nope.
Yeah, didn't Courtney Barnett already write a song like about this sort of
About what?
like not wanting to go to the party, but you go because someone else wants you to go or whatever?
She's written like 20 songs about
Yeah,
that.
she's like actually Australian, and so Joji was like, "Well, fuck that. I'm gonna put some dumbass synths under it." One thing I forgot to mention about the other Joji song real quick is at the beginning, like 2 notes sound exactly like Metallica Enter Sandman, and I got fooled by it when it came on.
Oh god.
But yeah, I have nothing to say
Oh
about
shit, Metallica's back on the charts.
Let's
Wow.
get Metallica on these charts. Let's get Joji and Metallica in the studio and see what they can cook up with.
Joji, please record Saint Anger.
Oh god, yeah. Let's get that snare on this hot new Joji track.
I think I if I'm gonna go off on like a completely different tangent, Saint Anger posting needs to give way to Lulu posting, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, call me
Absolutely.
Give it a year.
Saint
Give
Anger.
it a year. Give it a year. Gavin and Will will be on in like a year.
Listen, I will not rest until a major pop star samples the Saint Anger snare on their song. Because that shit hits. Put the Gex on.
I think the artist that's come the closest to like having that like Saint Anger snare sound is like early Joyce Manor.
Apparently, Black Dresses like actually sampled the Saint Anger snare in at least
God.
one
That's
song.
good.
Jesus. Oh.
Looking at the lyrics of this Joji song, though, I can't help but feel like it was inspired by video games by Lana Del Rey, because the first lyrics in like the chorus, swinging out front, let me inside, playing my song. I don't know, just swinging. It just the lyrics of this song reminds me a lot of video games by Lana Del Rey, and I'm only noticing it now.
Okay.
Though.
Okay. Well. Okay. What if it was Lana Del Rey, but it was for the fellas?
Isn't that just Norman fucking Rockwell?
Okay, that is true.
No,
That is true.
It's Lana Del Rey, but for people who like pure comedy more than me.
But as fellas, Norman fucking Rockwell is a pretty good album. So hey, you got me there.
Yeah.
I can't with that album.
It's pretty crazy how she made like her best album ever, and then immediately was like, "Hey, I'm gonna date a cop."
No, we haven't even gotten to like the fucking part where she like flailed around and embarrassed herself for a week on Instagram.
Oh god.
Oh no, Meltdown May, baby.
Meltdown May. It's inescapable.
Who is your all's personal Meltdown May champion? I feel like everyone has a different one.
Elon Musk. No question.
No, it's those
Musk is up there. I don't want to say Musk because it's the common.
Caught.
I think so. A friend of the pod, Dog U, ran a very. So Dylan had been working on a Meltdown May bracket, and it was like just like a 32.
It was like a 32 one. Like it was very kind of like basic and bare bones. And then so I put that out, and then like 2 days later, Samoyed Core put out theirs, and I got blown the fuck out of the water. And
because it's so detailed.
It's so detailed. I'm pretty sure
they spent the whole month like taking notes on the fucking meltdowns, and then assembled it into that monolith of a bracket.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't checked the bracket, but I'm pretty sure that the U.S. mercenaries who got captured in Venezuela was the one that won.
That's the GOAT. That's the funniest shit to ever happen ever.
Yeah. That's probably number one.
That's like Mark Wahlberg saying he would stop
9/11.
Oh god, yeah, that one is. I think I accidentally voted for Gio Tolentino in the finals.
Yeah, that's
my number 2.
Yeah,
that's my number 2. After listening to the TrueAnon episode, like kind of about that, it was like, oh yeah, this is number 2. Like, Jesus
so many
Christ.
blue check people were cool that we're doing anything to not talk about Joji right now.
I look.
So don't give me love, isn't it a fun song? Anyway, back to the meltdowns.
Joji implicated in human trafficking.
Check the flight logs.
Mitski.
Oh god. Oh Jesus.
I wouldn't be so.
Shout out to Doja Cat. She in racial chat room showing feet is the funniest tweet.
That was less than a month.
No.
That tweet, like, it would have been in any other month like the best tweet of like the year, but Meltdown May was just so significant that that was barely a blip.
I remember that so distinctly.
It makes me cry still.
Give it 3 months.
It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, give it 3 months, and then when you hit that RT on Shein racial chat rooms showing feed, it's gonna blow up.
That's gonna be my
Your
Twitter
friends will
handle
love
before
you.
the end of the year.
I'm about to hit that retweet on that.
You'll be the new king of comedy.
I'm about to hit the
I'm
retweet
gonna
on
just
that.
be in my deathbed.
Yeah, that Lenny
My
Kravitz
kids are
tweet.
gonna ask me about 2020.
And you're not gonna tell them about the pandemic. You're just gonna show them.
Yeah, racial chat room showing feed. Damn.
Kids, that's all you need to know about this era.
Mm-hmm. Civil unrest in Shein racial chat room showing feed.
No civil unrest. Just in racial chat room showing.
There was civil unrest in the racial chat rooms
because not enough feed.
I think. No, here's the thing. I think showing feet is civil unrest in itself.
Joji and racial chat room showing feet.
Okay. About that?
I'm just saying this phrase like it's gonna summon something, like a better song.
If you say it in the mirror 5 times, Doja Cat will appear.
I'd rather Doja Cat be in this list though than Joji.
Oh God. Okay.
Joji
okay.
Cat, am I right?
I would like to see
But why twice?
Joji make a song like based on a Manscaped commercial. I feel like that would be more interesting.
Oh God. Okay.
What is this last one? Like, what even is this?
Okay, we need to move on. Okay, number one on the list. Cosmo's Midnight featuring Rule. Down for You. But I'm gonna ask you all a question. So the singer on the song is Rule. How old do you think he is?
I looked this up, so I will not say.
Yeah, I'm gonna abstain. I know.
I'm just looking at his Spotify page. I'm not looking at any about. Like, what is this look that this guy is going
Rose, the question: how old do you think he is?
30.
I'm
Dylan.
I'm gonna say 19.
A significant range. Gavin.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. I listened to this playlist like 5 times over. I cannot tell you how the man in this song sounds.
Okay, but how? Just guess. Just give me an age.
Oh,
give me an age.
God, fucking 14.
Okay. It's okay. Well, Rose completely fucking off at 30. It's between Gavin and Dill's answer. This kid is 17 years old.
No!
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, Sean, you seem like you know quite a bit about Rule, somewhat, since you abstained.
Okay. Well, I remember being in my senior year of school, and I was driving to school, and Triple J was interviewing him because he was featured on someone else's song, and after the interview, his dad had to drive him to school, so he must have been in year 8 or 9 when I was in year 12, and that's just crazy to me. I don't know, it's I'm really not a fan, honestly. He played either right before or right after Tones and I at Laneway Festival.
Brand synergy.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Lime Cordial played the same festival, but I feel like that's kind of irrelevant. Yeah.
Wait, was it daytime when they
I'm
played?
really having trouble. Sorry, yeah. It was
shit,
daytime.
not vampires. Fuck.
Oh
shit.
Actually, it really annoyed me, that festival, the way that the lineup was ranked. It was like the 1975, Charlie XCX, Tones and I, Rule, then King Gizzard. They were both above King Giz, and Fontaine's DC and Hatchie, I don't know.
I think we just need to barricade off Australia and just keep everything on that continent, down all the planes, because we'll get Sean out of there, of course, but
Dawn doesn't want to be over
So
here.
considerate.
We've already established this. He doesn't need
here's
an
what
airlift.
we'll do. We'll go to New Zealand. We'll go to New Zealand.
We'll find neutral ground.
We'll airlift him out, and we'll all go to New Zealand because clearly they got their shit together. You know, they've got their shit together right now compared to everybody else.
They don't have anything but
Yeah.
kiwis and hobbits, so it's fine.
That's true.
That
Every
sounds
hobbit
great.
is still there.
We're going to Antarctica. I don't know about y'all.
But what this song is really bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What I have to say is that Rex Orange County was a plague. I hate that man so much. I feel like
Don't worry, he'll be back.
He'll be back. Oh, God. I feel like him and Mac DeMarco like really did kind of ruin a generation of indie music in a way. A lot of young artists, not everyone, obviously. There's clearly exceptions. Was like I said, our album of the year in 2019, Black Midi. They're children. They're not even 21 yet, or they're like maybe like one or two of them is like 21, and they made like my favorite album last year.
Yeah, but that's incomparable because Rex Orange County is the music you put on for college freshmen who are going to their first house show and get too drunk on $10 vodka, and the MIDI boys are the ones dropping Bandcamp albums where they're reading Edgar Allan Poe and noodling around for 2.5 hours. They're nowhere on the same level.
Okay, but I just mean like just in general, like young musicians who are wanting to like who are discovering indie music and wanting to make music.
Yeah,
yeah. There is the Black MIDI path of just like, hey, just explore everything. Any weird influence you want to go through, go do it. Or you could do it the cheap and easy way, which is the Rex Orange County way, or even the Mac DeMarco way, where it's just like they found the formula. They found the formula for like for indie music at the time and how to make it mainstream. More Rex than Mac is. Mac is most of his influences mostly stayed out of the pop world. It's kind of been on the bubbling end for the most part, sort of in that mid tier. But Rex Orange County, like no, there's so many artists, even on this list, or just that I've heard on Indieheads, like a lot of like stuff that's got signed to like major labels. Like we've done like some AMAs this year with like Universal artists that like personal opinion, just like, oh man, this is just like such a like horrible watered down distillation of like of just quote unquote indie music. But I fucking hate Rex Orange County. I hate his stupid face. I hate his stupid British fucking teeth. I hate Rule. I didn't know he was 17 as like I was listening to song as I was like doing my notes. I was like, well, let me see who this person is, because I assumed he was like, early to mid 20s. He's fucking 17. So I'm like, okay, I'll give him a pass. He's still young. He'll find his voice at some point. It explains a lot about why this song is so fucking bad. Stay in school, kids. Just stay in school. Don't post online till like you're 18 at the very fucking least. Like if there's any example of, hey, don't post until you're 18, take it from me. I've been a poster since I was like 10 years old. It's ruined my life. I cannot tell you how terrible my life has been because I started posting at a young age. So just don't do it. Just don't.
Kind of tangentially to Rex Orange County, the first time I heard a Still Woozy song, my immediate reaction is, why the fuck would anyone ever listen to this band ever? It's some of the I don't even know. It's terrible.
I have a question about Australia. Is it like closed down? Are the malls open?
Starting to reopen. It's kind of on a state-to-state basis. Okay. Like there's obviously no gigs or anything like that happening. Shops are opening. It's kind of crazy. I don't really know exactly where we're at, but this Saturday we can have up to 100 people at a gathering. But like 3 weeks ago, we could only have like 5 people. So it's gone. It's reopening very quickly, but that's because they closed it very quickly.
Okay. Then my take on this song is there's no reason for it to be number one unless the mall is open. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like this list, though, didn't I mean, Triple J doesn't do the Australian music industry justice. Like, I'm not gonna like rag on Triple J because it does do such fantastic things and showcase some great music. Not in this list, but in general it does. But Triple J's sister station, Double J, like as I mentioned before we started recording, that they have like 3 Fiona Apple songs in their top 10. It's like their adult contemporary radio station, and it's sort of for an older target audience than Triple J, and I feel like that kind of shows. It's not all bad. There's such fantastic Australian music.
So there's a Triple J, there's a Double J. Are there how many other J's are there, or is that just it?
There's no, there's a third one, which is Triple J Unearthed, which is digital, and it's not, there's a radio station, but it's more of like a social media platform where any band can upload their music, and people that work at Triple J and Double J will like listen to everything that gets uploaded there. And it's meant to like influence what gets played, and it actually is where Flume first got discovered. So, and maybe, I don't want to say Tame Impala, but definitely Flume.
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably. I mean, it's something that like you were telling me about that, and I was like, damn, I wish they had that in America. That would be pretty tight. But I think it just, Australia, obviously, just like it's a smaller country generally, so it's like, okay, something that makes it's probably easier to like run and easier to moderate compared to like the U.S., where just there's so much going on, like.
Yeah, like Triple J's like college radio if there was only one station and every college tuned into it.
I'm just a little disappointed it's not Quadruple J, but that's just me.
Still time for us to capitalize on
No.
that.
If there's one thing that I've really learned over the past like couple of months about, this is not even just a music opinion, this is just like a general like politics opinion. States are fucking stupid. The concept of states are fucking stupid. They're so dumb. Whoever made up states, fucking George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, bunch of slave owners, fuck you for making up the concept of states and states' rights and any of that bullshit.
All my homies hate states.
Let's get rid of the state too. That would help.
Get rid of the state. Get rid of states. Get rid of the Senate. That's my political take. It's not discussed.
Destroy the Supreme Court while we're at it.
Destroy the Supreme Court. Just
hey, while we're at it, let's get rid of that band Real Estate.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's it for the podcast. Hopefully, shut it down. We're done. That's it. Hopefully, you all enjoyed this podcast. I'll probably put a note at the beginning of the podcast, but I'll just like repeat like what the plan is for the pod going forward. So I didn't get to mention at the beginning of the pod. Took a bit of a break. Just to recap what I'm probably gonna put as the intro. Took a break because of gestures at everything. I think we were kind of on a bit of a hot streak, and just eventually just got to a point where it was just gonna fizzle. It was gonna fizzle. We were just doing too much too quickly, and it was just gonna fizzle at a certain point. And then, but obviously, just everything going on here in the U.S. just. We needed, I think it was probably for the best that we just kind of took a step back and we're like, okay, because I think a lot of us wanted to focus on activism efforts and stuff like that and be like, okay, we can wait, the pod can wait, we can come back to it at a certain point, which is now, as along with this episode going up, there's a new Discog breakdown, Phil Elverum Interlude 3 that Jake and Alex just did, talking about the new Microphones album. And then probably we'll hopefully be getting some more Discog breakdowns from there. I think the announcement is re-energized Jake and Alex quite a bit. So more Discog breakdowns in the near future. We're gonna try to finish up the retrospects. And real quick, I just want, if there's anyone, right now there's a lot of people that could use your help in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement. Going right now, there's a really great resource, Black Lives Matter, or Black Lives Matters .card with 2 R's .co. A lot of petitions, text or call, donations, all this stuff is it's a really great resource for a lot of stuff going on, not only in the Black Lives Matter movement, but even stuff like the Free Palestine movement and the Yemen crisis and all this stuff. So, donate to a local organization, mutual aid. If you got money, donate. Not petitions, a lot of stuff. There's protests going on in your area. If you're not immunocompromised or you do feel safe going, highly recommend it. I've gone to a few already in my general area, and definitely has energized me somewhat and just filled me with some hope for the future. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Does anyone want to have any final thoughts on this Triple J list in this podcast?
Follow at Rivers Cuomo on Twitter.
No, the world has progressed past the need for Rivers Cuomo.
Follow at Roswell Kid.
Yeah.
Follow Roswell Kid. Okay, hopefully.
After the Triple J, Double J, the only J we need is to just stop.
Oh boy. Okay. Hopefully you all enjoyed this podcast, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.